The self-checkout backlash. Some stores are reverting from automated registers and bringing back more human cashiers. What's more human? Human cashiers. Let's go behind it. What is behind this change?
Well, I mean, look, simply put, people are just fed up, right? How many times have you gone through the self-checkout lane? The machine tells you you haven't placed the item in the right spot, even though you did. Then there's the issue of inventory loss, things that are stolen or just missing. It seems hardworking cashiers, oh, they're making a comeback. Self-checkout. You either love it or...
I hate it. I hate it.
If I'm going to do the work, give me a discount.
This morning, several major retailers are listening and reevaluating their self-checkouts. Some business analysts pointing less to customer satisfaction and more to inventory loss as part of the problem.
The technology that is powering self-checkout is also layering in other technology like AI that's monitoring the customer that's checking out the products.
So they basically can tell how much inventory loss. Look, a lot of these places and a lot of these retail places, they're very, very scared to ever approach a customer or to say anything to the customer. But what they will say, or what is happening, is they are aware of the fact that there is a lot of loss that is happening because artificial intelligence and the different tools that they're building into it is basically telling them that. And the data is basically saying, hey, man, they combine that with the data, they combine that with the orders that they have to make, they combine that with the loss and how much write-off that they have, and they're having a lot of shrinkage. Shrinkage is anything from something getting damaged and they have to throw it away because they can't make money from it, all the way up to people stealing, right? And so part of it is the theft, because let me be very, very clear. The customer service part of it is always going to come second to the bottom line. If they feel like they can increase their bottom line by having better customer service, then they will. The problem with that is it always costs them more to have humans serving other humans than it will to have machines. So now we're having a hybrid approach similar to what we have in the automotive industry, right? And that people wasn't really checking for hybrids until EVs came. Now they know that they have to evolve, they know that they have to change, they know that they have to adapt, they know that these miles per gallons in these different states like California is basically banning internal combustion engines in themselves. And so what they've done is they said, well, listen, give me a hybrid. Give me something that has EV technology in it, but I don't want to get away from the core of what it is. Because criminals then came through and they said, oh man, this is easy to steal. We ain't got to do nothing. I seen a whole lot of people when I was standing in the checkout line ring up bananas, but they really had steaks in their hand, but they was ringing up bananas. It's a fact. And during the pandemic, it accelerated. And so what you're basically seeing now is that it's a combination of justification behind bringing back cashiers. Now, there's certain retailers, in my opinion, that I don't think is ever going back to cashiers. I do not think that the Myers and the Walmarts and the Krogers are going back to just cashier lanes. Me, myself, personally, I enjoy when I get to go into a unique store where it's primarily self-checkout and it just feels nostalgic. It feels old school. It's weird because there's people that are adults now that never grew up to be able to shop for themselves and actually be able to experience it the way that we've experienced it back in the day. To where now it feels nostalgic to just have all lanes. Like I go to certain specialty grocery stores or local grocery stores that's not a part of big chains, right? And in those grocery stores, everything is nostalgic. Everything is weird because you have to go through a cashier and you have to have somebody bagging up your groceries. And people are now so used to doing it themselves and they used to move in a certain way. And I also realize that there's people that are adults now that never ever got to experience what we get to experience even now in some of these specialty stores, which is what used to be normal back in the day. But again, technology and innovation combined with wages and rates and trying to get things faster and margins being lower and the cost of food going higher and trying to pass that over to the customer in order to maintain a customer base so you can compete against the likes of the Amazons, the Walmarts, the Krogers, the big chains. People tend to start to reject those because once they experience that nostalgic thing that they used to have, they realize how much they still like it. Now, there's some people that just don't care. They don't care. They just want their stuff. They want it now. but there's other people that actually enjoy the customer service aspect of things. I'm starting to appreciate life moving a little bit slower now. I'm not always moving fast. Even when it comes to different things that I have to do, even around the house when I'm working from home, I take a breath because your mind can race so fast and you can say, well, I got a lot of stuff that I got to take care of. But I'll usually stop and I'll say, and I'll just start moving a little slower and I'll take my time. And maybe I move it back a couple minutes or whatever in order to make sure. But I'm not moving as fast on purpose anymore because it allows for me to take in what it is that I got going on around me. I appreciate the sales. I appreciate the human interaction. I appreciate people bagging my groceries. I appreciate the people that deliver my food and stuff like that, right? When we do Instacart, I appreciate the fact that they're bringing it up to my door and stuff. And so, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of solving for the fact that they realize that having this technology doesn't solve for the human element on the other side as far as them walking out the door with your stuff. But then at the same time, if they can have one or two cashiers monitor 6 or 7 or 8 different stations, and it still gives that sense of customer service to where they programs you to do a self-checkout on your own, they're going to still do it. They still going to do that. But there's always going to be a few individuals that decide to get away from it because it's costing them too much money.
An industry survey found that self-checkout represented 30% of transactions in 2021 and that 96% of food retailers surveyed offered it at their stores. But with them come complaints of tech glitches.
There's always like one item that doesn't scan, and then all of a sudden, that light goes from green to yellow above you.
An impersonal experience.
A lot of us want a human being.
Yeah.
We want to have that conversation. We want to be able to voice our concerns or ask a question about a product.
And long lines. So even here at the grocery store, this line here, this is all for self-checkout. So you're still going to have to wait in line.
And that's the thing that people don't also understand is that just because you in self-checkout don't mean that you're not going to wait in a long line. You're not going to get there. And then it's going to be that one person that scans something wrong, or they're going to scan some alcohol and then they got to go over there and check their IDs and all of that stuff because the little thing is going to be going off. So I think that people need to slow down. You can be efficient, you can move quicker, but take it in, like just breathe for a second and just chill out. You in a rush to go and do nothing anyway.
Target stores now limiting the number of items at their self-checkouts to reportedly shorten those wait times. Dollar General says it plans to ramp up its employee presence at the front of the stores, noting the convenience of self-checkout to some customers, but saying it does not reduce the importance of a friendly, helpful employee who is there to greet customers and assist while the checkout process is happening.
People want that interaction.
Here at Rivertown IGA, a small Ohio grocer just outside of Cincinnati, they have 2 self-checkout stations, but say they pride themselves on their personal check-ins from their cashiers.
Our self-checkouts is just an option. If you don't want to use it, please go see the regular cashiers because they're going to know you, know your family, know what you usually shop for.
And they're going to know if you're stealing or not. Now, Susan, you know you ain't supposed to be in here getting that. They know you got diabetes, but you over here getting all of that high sugar stuff. Girl, you know you ain't supposed to have that. What you doing with this? And then you're going to feel shame. I'm telling you, it's so many benefits to human interaction that people don't understand. The only human interaction that they have nowadays is likes on Instagram. That's why I even like interacting with the chat. I don't just do a show and that's the end of it. I like interacting with the chat because that's a human element to it, is that I actually get to, coming in, reading y'all names, seeing who in the chat, getting a sense of and asking y'all how y'all doing. Give me one word. Oh man, I seen you last night and this person was doing really well. I seen your Instagram story. It's that human element that we're missing in society today because we're moving too fast. We're moving too fast. We overstimulated, undersatisfied. We're never going to be able to appreciate the situation that we're in because we're moving too fast. Too fast.
To talk about the town gossip. They're our friends.
It's all about the gossip, right? The consumers we spoke with do say that self-checkout is convenient for one or two things, but they say they really enjoy having that personal interaction with the cashier.
Universal Ask says, I don't want to talk to anyone at the store. Just give me my stuff and let me go ASAP. See what I'm saying? That's why we don't have no social skills in society anymore. Don't nobody know how to say thank you. We rude to each other. We act like we be acting like serial killers. We be looking weird. Don't y'all know that y'all be looking weird? That's why y'all be going into the store with pajamas. Y'all don't even dress up to go outside no more. That's why women is throwing on bonnets, because I just want to get it real quick and stuff like that. Hair don't be brushed, nothing. Just showing up, looking stupid, looking weird. Don't know how to do nothing, no more. We act like idiots. Act like idiots. I remember you used to have to go and fix your own car. And you would have to go to AutoZone or Murray's. We have Murray's here in Michigan. And you would actually have to talk to the guy, because the guy behind the counter was actually knowledgeable. He wasn't just a body. He was a person that actually understood cars. And so you would buy, hey man, is this the right one for this? He was like, what kind of car you got? Oh, I got this, I got that. No, you don't need that one. Go and get this battery. Oh no, you don't want that one. Make sure you get this. And they would give you the insight on how you can go and fix it. All right, look, bro, this is what you want to do, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. If it don't work, come back and talk to me. We missing that human element of it. We're missing the human element of what it takes in order to be successful as a society, and that's why we're so disconnected. We're disconnected. You had to interact with people in order to be more successful. You had to talk to people. You had to develop social skills. You had to have that human interaction to be. That's why I'm always going to have a leg up on most people and everything. Because when you think it's just enough for you to study some kind of online course, I realize that the online course is only a 10% of it. And when we both get into the interview, I'm going to be personable. You're going to be looking like an idiot because you thought that it was just a test. And you thought that it was a test of your competency. But my C-student skills are going to shine way, way brighter than what you got going on as far as your ability to be able to do a code real quick. And I'm going to be laughing and we're going to be having a good time. And they're going to pick me and they're going to give me way more money than they was going to give you if they would have picked you anyway. And so I know I'm going to always be able to beat you because your inability to take into consideration that part of what being a human is, the interaction part of it, is a very, very, very vital skill. A very, very vital skill that most people don't think that they have to cultivate. They don't think it's important for them to work on how they communicate. They don't think it's important for them to go out and interact with people. You stay in the house 24/7, 7 days a week. That's why I be going stir crazy, because I need to be around people. I need to kick it with people. I need to talk to people. I want to shake your hand. I want to have fun. I want to have hugs. And people feel so weird when they meet me for the first time because they're like, man, you really are like this in real life. We all should be like that in real life. And we got to work on the human element, the social skills, our ability to be able to communicate. You master that by actually interacting with people and not hiding in the back of in a classroom. That's just my opinion anyways.